monument says here, we mark the price of freedom. Doesn't make me unpatriotic to say that that's not my price. I am free. I choose to be free. So, what is freedom? Is it the monuments here in DC? This is Lincoln Memorial. Is it the Washington Monument, the obelisk? These are all symbols, right? But what do these symbols actually represent? You know, is it patriotism? Is it segregation back in, Abraham Lincoln days? Is it when this foreign land known as Washington, D.C. was established to be central government of the United States of America? This is foreign land. Regardless of what you believe and what the history books say, how do we view this as spiritual souls participating in this matrix? See all these beautiful souls here? They believe what they believe about these monuments and the people that these monuments are honoring. I've also just checked out the Martin Luther King Jr. monument and the Korean War monument. How do we handle these things as spiritual souls, right? What do we believe? First of all, you believe what resonates for you, not what you're being told. But if, the narrative out there resonates for you, fantastic. This is how I view these monuments, right? In some degree, we were conditioned to idolize and worship other beings, other souls. And that's, the narrative was, look at what these people did for you and for your freedoms and protect your freedoms. But they're not the only ones, right? There were many sacrifices made to make this country, the United States, what it is today. And yes, George Washington was a part of it. Yes, Abraham Lincoln was a part of it. Yes, Martin Luther King Jr. was a part of it. JFK Jr. was a part of it. Ronald Reagan was a part of it. Truman, Eisenhower, the list goes on. And in lots of ways, all these people are idolized and memorialized. Again, we want to remember those people, but then they generalize the souls that were lost in war. World War I, the Korean War, Vietnam, the Iran and Iraq wars. What about those people that made the ultimate sacrifice, right? And I'm not saying that the Washingtons of the world didn't make their sacrifices, and the founding fathers, they did make many more sacrifices than are written in the history books. What happened to their families after, they defied England, right? There's a plaque over here. I'm going to see if I can get a picture of it. It says freedom isn't free. Why is that? Why are they trying to make us believe that the price of freedom is our lives, right? Doesn't have to be. We don't have to, as spiritual people, experience things the way they're being projected onto us by idolizing other people. We don't have to. And that's one thing that as you elevate your frequencies, you're going to learn, right? You're making your sacrifice in your own way. Does it have to be with blood, sweat, and tears? No. It could just be here, observing everything that's here, right? But choosing not to be an active participant in it. Not to idolize other souls, to celebrate them. So instead of idolizing, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, and Martin Luther King Jr., who's back there, I celebrate their lives, the souls' lives, because their souls had missions too. And many of them accomplished those missions, right? They may have been old souls and this was their last hurrah. Who knows? But congratulations. I celebrate you and I honor you for your sacrifices that you made in this spiritual war. It doesn't have to be a war either, but these are terms that we've been conditioned to understand. Words have many different meanings, as we all know. So I choose my words carefully. War to me is not a fight, it's not guns, it's not ammunition, right? I'm holding my divine light here against anything that's not here for my highest good. And that's what we can do as spiritual souls. That's our war, right? The war for our souls to stay as sovereign, free beings. For me, freedom is free because I choose to be free, not because somebody tells me that I have to fight to make myself free or to free others. It's not my journey. That's a journey that we've been conditioned to believe. Behind the Washington Monument there is the Capitol, right? And you know, are those people making sacrifices on behalf of the American people? Well, if you read some of those laws that are being written now or trying to be pushed, I would say no. But that's my reality, that's my truth. So I choose not to participate in that either. It happens to be election day here in the United States. And yes, I put my vote in not to participate. I was there mostly to hold space in that voting district. I chose just to be there as a light to make sure that the people that were there weren't being manipulated in any way or violated of their rights. Not looking for it, just holding my light. So nothing can come in, right? Because as a spiritual being, you can hold the light. You can put up your own force field of protection. It's your force field. But anybody that aligns with you and elevates their frequency to meet yours is in that protected force field as well. And you may ask, well, why do I need to put a force field up of protection? There are a lot of unseen forces in this, you know, in this earth plane that we are on. Forces that mean to do harm to others, right? Those are negative, low vibrations. And I don't look at them as negative, low vibrations. I just do not align with them. So for them to align with me, they have to raise their frequency. So I no longer lower my frequencies to them. How does that look for other people that do? That's fear. That's guilt. That's shame. That's lack. That's lack of confidence. That's worthlessness. That's being a slave to debt and the banking systems and the corporations and to the commercialism and the advertisements that are being projected on us through the televisions, television, through the media, through the frequencies that are being projected onto us unknowingly and unwillingly. That's what those negative low vibrations look like to me. But since I do not align with them, because I won't lower my frequency to them, and they're not going to raise their frequency to match mine, because if they do, then they're no longer low vibrations. So interestingly enough, my journey brought me here so that I can just be here, me, in my frequency, in my vibration, so I can align myself with those energies that are in alignment with me. And I will find them, but those that do not cannot force me down to meet them where they are. And interestingly enough, I was messaging with my brother who's on the spiritual path as well, and he was asking me, oh, how are the levels of energy here? And it took me a minute to answer that, because in my past, as I was, you know, consciously elevating my frequency, you know, and fighting that battle, right, in my dark nights of the soul, you know, my levels were low. and I would feel everything, all the spiritual attacks. If you're on your spiritual journey, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I would feel them, right? I knew that what they were, so it would force me to elevate my frequencies, to not be in those negative energies, in those lower vibrations. Now, I recognize that they're here, but since they don't raise themselves to meet me, I really don't feel them much. So somebody else may, that's not in alignment with their higher frequencies, feel them. But I just know that they're here. I don't acknowledge them because I choose not to align myself with them. I just stay in my frequency and my high vibes, right? And not participating in this and not idolizing this, but holding love and light, staying in my sovereignty and my freedom. So, for me, freedom is free because I choose to be free, and I do not consent to being invaded or infiltrated or coerced or fooled, right? Or indoctrinated. I do not consent. So those energies don't come into my now space. I don't allow it. And that's what you can do as a spiritual soul on your spiritual path. Recognize who you are. Stand in you believe. Not believe, what your truth is. Right? I told you before that the word believe has the word lie in the middle of it, L-I-E. So I'm trying not to use that word anymore, but it's hard, right? We've been conditioned to do it. So it's not I don't get down on myself for using it, just recognize it, aware of it, and choose not to use it again, right? And I'll do that several more times before it becomes my new habit, because that's how you break habits, by being aware of old habits that you want to shift, and in every now moment stopping yourself and shifting them. That's how we can change our worlds. We can't change anybody else's world. We certainly can't put anybody else on a pedestal or idolize others. We can celebrate those souls, right? We're no different than each other. We're all one anyway. So we need to acknowledge each other. And yes, there are beautiful souls that have accomplished their soul missions, and they should be giving themselves their accolades, right? We can honor them, right, for their accomplishments, celebrate their victories. We also need to be mindful that we need to do that for ourselves every now moment. Acknowledge ourselves, put ourselves up on our own pedestals, right? Pat ourselves on our own back. We don't need it from somebody else. And we shouldn't seek it from somebody else, because then we're choosing to be us and idolized by somebody else. And if you stay in that frequency, then you're staying in that narrative. So choose to elevate your frequency, not to be above anybody else, to be where you are in your truth, and trust your own instincts and your own guidance. Don't follow anybody else's narrative. Choose what's best for you in every now moment. Be aware of what's around, right? Pay attention. That's the currency of the universe. But make choices that are best for you in your now moment. And those choices that you make that are best for you will be the best choices for your family, your friends, anybody else you choose to share your experiences with, and to help raise up their frequencies, right? That's what we can do by choosing to stay in our high vibrations. Whoever's meant to be here with us will elevate or will be on the same frequency. That's how you shift, make your new communities, your new loving communities, right? Everybody helping each other, bartering, trading, however you need to do it, right? We are all wealthy. We don't need to tell anybody to tell us that we're not, or anybody to tell us what to buy, how to buy it, what to look at, what to do, what to put in our bodies. None of it. We are free. And freedom is free. I choose it. Choose to be free, my friends, and have an amazing day. So, are you not sure of what's keeping you down and what's keeping you enslaved and not truly free, or having to fight to be free, you're struggling to figure that out, I can help. I am a spiritual transformation coach. Here's a link to my website. Give me send me a message. Schedule a free 30-minute decompression session with me through my website, and let's help you find out what's keeping you enslaved, or not feeling worthy of being free, or not choosing to be free of your own free will. I'd love to help. And if you like the contents of this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the monuments and idolizing other souls, and whether or not you feel worthy of your own idolization, your own accolades for your accomplishments. Keep your vibrations high, folks. We're coming into the 1111 portal. Truth, so close. Align yourself with it, and you shall have it. Thank you for spending a few minutes with me. Many blessings.